What quantum physics teaches us is that spirituality and science are converging. Dear sisters and brothers, dear fellow human beings. For many centuries, we have viewed the world as if it consisted of separate things. Me here, others there. Humans here, nature there. God here, the world there. Classical physics shaped this image. Everything seemed separate, predictable, local. Cause here, effect there. Matter solid, consciousness more of a spectator. But modern physics, quantum physics, has quietly but fundamentally changed this worldview. It does not tell us what to believe, but it changes the questions we ask. At the deepest level, it shows us that reality does not consist of things, but of relationships. Particles are not solid objects. They are possibilities. Only in interaction, in contact, in observation, does something become reality. And what's more, once something has been connected, it remains connected. Across space and time. Physics calls this entanglement. Albert Einstein reverently called it spooky action at a distance. The visible world, said physicist David Bohm, is like a hologram. Every part carries information about the whole. If this is true, and experiments confirm it, then separation is not the ultimate truth. Then connectedness is not a feeling, but a fundamental principle of reality. And this is where physics meets the great spiritual traditions of humanity. Religions say similar things in different languages. In Christianity, in Him we live and move and have our being. In Judaism, the world is permeated by the breath of God. In Islam, everything is a sign of the One. In Hinduism, Brahman permeates everything. In Buddhism, nothing exists on its own. Different words, but a common depth. Unity behind diversity. The kingdom of God, says Jesus, is not here or there. It is within you. Not as a possession, but as a relationship. What does that mean for our lives? First of all, it means that we are not isolated individuals. In a hostile world, we are nodes of relationships. In a living network, we are connected to everything that is, and can experience that too. Every action has resonance, it has an effect, but is it the effect it is supposed to have? Feedback is very important here, like in a control loop, and this changes and optimizes the action. In this way, we can perceive criticism as something valuable and important. And I decide what leads to change. Every word continues to resonate. Not always visible. Not always immediate. But real. Perhaps much later, the seed sprouts, and someone realizes, now I understand what he said back then. Ethics thus becomes not a moral prescription, but a consequence of insight. I act responsibly, not because I have to, but because I am part of the whole. Suffering is then no longer a local event. When a person suffers, the suffering is in the field of humanity. When people are starving, when wars are raging, when the earth is wounded, then it is not out there. Some things also have something to do with me. This awareness motivates me to get involved. Thank you. The great worldwide willingness to help, which we see especially towards poor countries, is no coincidence. It is an echo of this deep connectedness. The worldwide hospitality that I have been fortunate enough to experience also springs from this awareness. In this light, compassion is not a weakness, and not merely a feeling. It is intelligence of the heart, the ability to recognize myself in others, because we come from the same field. And so our understanding of peace also changes. Peace is not just a moral ideal, nor is it a pious wish. Peace is system stability, resonance instead of escalation, balance instead of dominance. War arises where connectedness is denied, where groups see themselves as separate entities, where fear determines the relationship system. That is why the great challenges of our time cannot be solved nationally. They are also conditioned by the system. The global community is the way forward and the future, not out of idealism, but out of realism on a higher level. What does that mean in practical terms? It means that responsibility is rethought, not as guilt, not as perfection, but as awareness of humanity as an organism. That in politics we ask, how do we strengthen relationships instead of fronts? In economics, how do we measure success beyond growth? In education, how do we teach relationship skills, not just knowledge? And it means that peace does not begin first in treaties, but in relationships, in dealing with otherness, in enduring ambivalence, in everyday life. Quantum physics does not provide a new religion. It does not prove any belief, but it opens up a space in which the old wisdom can be understood anew. Perhaps the most important insight of our time is not how everything works, but how deeply we are connected to one another, and what we make of it. Our thoughts, meditation or prayer do not go into a void but into a field where they have an effect. Finding inner peace and peace meditations or prayers have a great effect, invisible but verifiable. Love your enemies is an expression of this. I send light to the enemy and offer them a different path to take, and it reaches them. Perhaps they are only acting out of ignorance, for that is where most suffering arises. If many people support peace internally, there can be no war. That is why every effort is made to manipulate people. Let us listen to our inner voice, which calls for peace. Let us not allow it to be drowned out by agitation or promises. History teaches us what the consequences of this can be. And quantum physics teaches us that this is against the laws of the cosmos. And these laws are connectedness and unity in diversity, inner emptiness in outer wealth, or inner wealth and development in diversity. Thank you.